Hola, hola, amigas. Before we dive in, I want to share something special about today's episode. This one's a little bit different. The episode was actually channeled. I didn't plan it or script it or outline it in my usual way. I started by calling in my spirit guides. I lit my candle and my Palo Santo, grounded in my space, and I simply asked what episode needs to be recorded and shared today. And this is a message that came through for today. So thank you, spirit guides, for being here, for guiding this message, because what poured out through me was really clear. This is about the power of the pause. Now, this message didn't come out of nowhere. It's been whispering to me for months. At first, through subtle nudges in my body, then louder signs from friends and clients, even fellow channels during our practice circles. I kept hearing versions of the same thing: slow down, rest, you're doing too much, you work too hard. And yet I kept going. I don't know how to slow down. There, I'm admitting it. This is not one of those things I can do from one day to the next. This is a powerful lesson for me because I frequently guide my clients to slow down. So, going through this experience myself, I can now understand exactly what they go through when we are working on this piece. Now, this message of slowing down really started anchoring for me in a Temazcal ceremony that I experienced in Costa Rica this past December. I've shared about this journey in episode 49, Ancestral Healing from my Temazcal Sweat Lodge ceremony experience. So I won't go into detail here, but what I will share is that one of the messages I received in that ceremony from my paternal grandmother was, "You are more like me than you think you are." And I didn't quite understand in that moment what that meant. As I took the time to process and integrate post ceremony, it became clear to me through meditation that what she meant is that I work too much, just like she did. I have since had several intuitive friends channel for me, and the same message has come through that I work too much and I work too hard. And it's true. But in this season, I've been building my coaching practice. With that comes a lot of testing and creating different offerings and testing those to see what works and what resonates with the women I'm helping and working with. I'm cleaning up my messaging, etc. So going back to the messages, a few months back, I had a soul shifting session with my dear friend and powerful intuitive Cindy Connect. And this is after the Temazcal ceremony. It was my first time experiencing her soul to soul signature session. And she came to my home. We set up in my living room. I lay down with blankets and all, and I just received her healing. And wow, what came through was powerful. My paternal grandmother showed up again. And this is not necessarily me seeing her and getting the messages, but my friend Cindy felt her presence and heard her messages. And what she relayed to me was, through Cindy, she said to me again that I work too hard, just like she did, and that it's time for me to rest. I really felt it because she was right. I remembered her, this incredible woman who birthed 14 children, including 3 with cerebral palsy, mind you. They did not have cerebral palsy when they were born. The 2 of them I remember from my childhood. One of them had passed away before I was born. But 2 of these children, they they developed this at a later age. And I never saw them walk or talk or feed themselves. And they were already grown. They needed full-time care, like infants, even in their 20s. And my grandmother cared for them until the day they passed away. But she wasn't only working in the home, raising her family. My grandparents owned a movie theater in their small pueblo in Jalisco, Mexico, uh, called Tonaya. The town was called Tonaya. My grandfather and dad would travel to nearby pueblos to show outdoor movies, while my grandmother stayed back to run the theater. And I remember being a little girl at the ticket booth, helping them sell tickets and helping to sell sodas and candy at the little concession stand, and just thinking it was so much fun. But I guess it wasn't so much fun for them because this was work. This is how they made a living, and they did it as a family. I remember with my aunt, selling candy and tickets. And if that wasn't enough, they also owned and ran a bar slash ice cream shop across the street from their house. So it was a bar by night. And so, of course, they needed somebody to run the bar. And that was not my grandmother. But the ice cream shop was running during the day. And she made the ice cream from scratch. And in the mornings, she would squeeze fresh orange, carrot, and cucumber juices. And she would set up a little table out front of the ice cream shop so that people walking by could grab a juice on their way to work or school. I mean, talk about the original juice bar, the OG juice bar entrepreneur here. She was an entrepreneurial powerhouse, a true matriarch. And I remember my dad telling me later in life that she was also a seamstress. So she would make dresses from scratch for the women in town. Like she would make the patterns, but she wouldn't even make the patterns out of paper. She would just cut the fabric, and he said they would just turn out so beautiful. But anyway, she was, wow, just really an entrepreneurial powerhouse, a true matriarch for our family. And I realized that I carry her same fire, that same drive to serve and to create and to build something that serves others and supports others, but also supports me financially and also my passion, really. But she came to remind me that it doesn't have to be at the cost of my own well-being. She asked me to do it differently. She asked me to rest. And she asked me to rest for her because she didn't get a chance to. And I really heard that. This time I really heard her, and it really, really touched me. Now, here's what's important to say too. I'm a manifesting generator with the 4-6 profile. I am meant to move. I'm designed to use my energy fully every day in business, in nature, in movement, in creation, in any way possible. But my energy needs to be fully exhausted daily so that I can sleep well and rest well and recharge. And there is a part of me that knows this to be true and wants to honor that. I don't want to fight against it. That is my nature. But that doesn't mean I'm supposed to overwork, overdo, and ignore the call to slow down. There's a difference between aligned movement and overfunctioning, between soul-fueled productivity, intentional work, and burnout masked as purpose. So I'm still learning what this looks like for me. And I'm sharing my experience and my journey in real time as I learn. And most recently, I created a couple of really amazing offers that I absolutely loved and I felt lit up by. I received such great feedback on these. One was a simplified to scale 90-day program to help women who already are in business to simplify their business, create processes, clarify their messaging, and scale their business. The other offer was a fun oceanside business retreat, a 3-day retreat for business owners to help them create their fall and holiday offers in advance so that they can actually enjoy the upcoming fall and holiday season without the last minute scramble to create their offers. It's part rest, part travel, part energy healing, part spiritual work, all in the sake of supporting their business by embracing the divine feminine energy. I received so much interest and such great response, yet no one was booking either offer. So after much deliberation and receiving messages, I made the choice to pause, to retreat, to listen, to stop promoting all my offers. I was mid promotional period on this retreat and I pulled the promotions and canceled the Airbnb. It made me so sad because it was really lighting me up. I had the schedule written out. We were going to do a full moon ceremony, have lunch at the beach, morning yoga, group coaching, and collaborating, and one-on-one work with each attendee. It was going to be a very intimate group for max so that I can spend time with each one, providing personalized coaching and support to each one. I even had the restaurants we were going to have dinner at picked out. So it did make me very sad to stop promoting it and to cancel it. But the messages coming through were very clear to me, and I could no longer ignore them. So today I want to share what some of the ways that led me to embrace the pause look like so that I can receive the messages, which really are the same that I've been doing to embrace the season of stillness, to keep that connection with my higher self, my work, and my divine rhythm. If you're a soulpreneur, a healer, a service provider, or a creative who feels like you can't stop, you need this episode. And you need to send this to all your friends who you know are just out there grinding it and hustling more than they really need to. You get to rest. You get to listen. You get to build a life and a business that honors your energy and your essence. So let's talk about how to do that. How do we actually honor the pause? How do we slow down in a world that's always telling us to speed up, especially when we're building a business, caring for others, and trying to keep up? Let me share what this has looked like for me lately, because pausing doesn't always mean doing nothing. Sometimes it means doing things differently, more intentionally, more intuitively, more in alignment with your energy. Here's how I'm embracing the pause. Number one, I travel to reset my energy and creativity. Now, I know this might sound counterintuitive, but for me, travel is medicine. When I leave home, even just for a weekend, I step out of the energy of doing. It disrupts the pattern of hustle. Whether it's sitting by the ocean, exploring a new city, or lounging by a pool, it gives me space to breathe and reflect. Yes, I still bring my laptop. Yes, I still work, but I allow myself to move slower. And I intentionally bring a book that has nothing to do with business or self-help. On my last trip to Cabo last month, I finally read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I had a chance to get lost in the magic of it. No takeaways, no notes, no self-help book to make me go inward or journaling exercises. Just read and fantasize about the characters. The beauty of traveling, even if I work, is that I remove myself from my home, from the daily responsibilities of the laundry and cleaning the house and the grocery and Target runs and the organizing the closets. Even when I go away for the weekend just to work, I get so much more done than if I had spent the same amount of time at my desk at home because the distractions are not there in the same way. Those those invisible that invisible work, that invisible lift, those responsibilities that are constantly floating around my mind, they kind of seem to be gone because, well, I'm not at home. I can't do anything anyways. Plus, travel unlocks a creativity, partly, I believe, because of the slowing down and partly because of the different environment. So this week, I'm leaving for a few days to Anaheim, staying local-ish, but hanging out with my mom, my sister, and my 6-year-old nephew. This is work by day for me, but once my work is done, we'll hang out by the pool, order room service, go to dinner in downtown Disney, a mini staycation with the girls. Next week, I'm heading to Mount Whitney, the highest mountain in California, and I'm going to attempt to hike it to the summit in one day. For this, I'll be completely disconnected from my laptop from Tuesday through Friday. So Tuesday we're traveling, Wednesday we're acclimating to the altitude at the base of the mountain. Wednesday we're hiking. Oh, so I guess Thursday I'm traveling back. Yeah. So no. Thursday we're hiking. Friday I'm coming back. And the following week, I have a work trip to Charlotte to help my client kick off her coaching certification program. I've never been to Charlotte, so you better believe I'm going out to check out some spots, including a fun healing session I found on Saturday while I'll be in town. So that's exciting. And in September, I have a 10-day trip to Spain and Portugal planned. I'll be taking my laptop on this one and I'll probably check emails and just delegate projects to my team because I am a business owner and I get to still manage my business, and that's okay. And I love it. And I like staying connected to my business and my clients. I get to do that. I used to dream about this, by the way. Okay. Back when I used to be in a cubicle in corporate. So, and yet another trip to Belize is planned in December for a week and probably a few weekends in Palm Springs between now and then. When it comes to travel, I'm a yes girl. Okay, number 2, I embrace slow mornings as my daily anchor. For many years, I used to rush into the day like many of us do, making breakfast, getting the kids ready for school, packing lunches, making sure everyone has their backpack and signed permission slips, dropping them off at separate schools, commuting to work. Exhausting. Now I give myself slow mornings. I wake up around 6:30 and I don't technically start work until 8 o'clock, sometimes maybe 9. And this is my time. I meditate, I journal, I sip my cafecito slowly while the sun hits my face. Sometimes I stay in my PJs most of the day. Sometimes I have to get ready because I have meetings, but I never rush. I allow myself plenty of time for all of it. It's become a sacred ritual. And to be honest, it's one of the most luxurious shifts I've ever made in my schedule. The most luxurious gift I have given myself. Number 3, channel during everyday moments. One of the most powerful things I've discovered is that spirit doesn't always need a sacred altar or a special time to speak to us. Sometimes the download comes while I'm folding laundry, washing dishes, or walking in silence. The key is presence. So, no listening to podcast or music, just stillness and quiet. For many, this is the shower. I've heard clients tell me they have a shower office where they get all their downloads. Lately, I've been training for the big hike, Mount Whitney. So I've been doing some long solo hikes in nature. And what I've been doing instead of listening to podcasts? I've been talking out loud. The beauty is that some of these hikes are so long and so high that there aren't people around. So I have the opportunity to speak out loud, to talk, and it's basically channeling. And I ask questions like, what do I need to release? What's next for me? What do I need to know that I'm not seeing? What do I need to know today? And my spirit guides, they show up and they walk with me, and I feel them and I hear them. And the clearest guidance came through recently. Stop promoting, just stop. You're doing too much. Stop it all. The group coaching program, not this summer. Have fun this summer. And so I did. I canceled the Oceanside VIP retreat. I paused my group coaching program, which I was planning on running in August. I stopped the emails, the social media, all of it. And it seems like it would be scary because I have to pay all my bills on my single income. But somehow I just knew and trusted it will all work out perfectly. Number 4, I'm honoring my feminine energy and cycles. Here is the truth. We are not designed to be on all the time, especially as women. We move in cycles, whether or not we're still menstruating. We are connected to the moon. We are connected to nature and to rhythm, to cycles. And our businesses get to reflect that as well. They're an extension of us. So I started syncing my tasks and energy with the moon's phases. And I'll share more about that in depth in the next episode because it's been such a game changer. But for now, just know this. We as women are not meant to run in 24-hour cycles. 9 to 5, Monday to Friday does not work for us like it works for men. The Monday to Friday 9 to 5 workday was created by colonialism and the patriarchy. Men are 24-hour energy creatures. Women are not. We have monthly cycles and even annual cycles, much like the seasons. Our energy levels are different at different times of the month. And if you're a woman who has had a period, you know this, which is probably 99% of you. The days of plummeting through every single day, forcing ourselves to move forward with the same energy level are over. We are not less than. We are not less than men if we're on our period and our energy level is lower. This is nonsense. Again, I'll do a separate episode on this because it's really important. But for the time being, I want you to know that yes, your energy levels are different every single day of the month. It runs in approximately 1 week cycles, usually with your moon cycle, which is your menstruating cycle. And if you no longer bleed, we can follow the energy of the moon. I'm still learning this, and I'm still learning to schedule myself out with the phases of the moon. It takes planning, and I only started learning this and incorporating this strategy in February. So I'm only about 4 to 5 months in. But I can tell you, it is working. I even had a client tell me, wow, you're knocking this stuff out. Yeah, because when we work with instead of against our energy, we can get more done in less amount of time. So I work different schedules every day. And sometimes I don't even work during the week and I'll work on the weekend instead. I just honor my energy levels and the things that I want to do every day. Sometimes I want to take off for the day and go hike or go to the spa, the day spa for the day with my girlfriends. So I won't work on a Tuesday, but I may put in some hours on a Saturday to like get caught up. And this is what I get to do for myself. Number 5, I am restructuring my business behind the scenes. While I've stepped away from launching and promoting publicly, I have been going inward into my business as well. I'm updating my websites, moving my courses to a new platform, delegating more to my team, clarifying my messaging, simplifying, and automating. It's all the unsexy back-end stuff we often put off because it's not fun, but it's what creates space to scale with ease later. And funny enough, this is what I teach inside my Simplify to Scale private coaching program. And now Spirit is reminding me to walk my own talk. So I'm doing just that. I'm putting myself through my own program, and then I can walk you through it and know what the experience actually is like. So if you've been hearing the whisper to slow down, to pull back, to rest, or this just sounds amazing, do it. By resting, we are also creating a revolution. Rest is resistance. Rest is revolutionary. It goes against colonialism and the patriarchy and capitalism. Today is July 2025, and life in the US is unlike anything I'd ever imagined it would be, and not in a good way. As a woman of color, eldest daughter of Mexican immigrant parents, there's a lot going on right now. They want us to fear. They want us to live in fear. They are trying to diminish our worth as brown people to alligator bait. There are many ways to take back our power. And it is my mission to empower women to take their power back and build something of their own, a project, a business, their own income portal, so that we don't have to work for a white man demanding we show up Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or even more, or even for less pay than they earn. By creating our own income portals, our own schedules, we take our power back and we honor our soul's purpose and our energy. And by resting, we are creating a revolution. We are creating change. We are creating a new paradigm. We are bringing in the divine feminine. We are bringing it back in. The divine feminine that the patriarchy is so against and has pushed down for centuries. I invite you to embrace the slowing down and the rest, and let's embrace a soft girl era. I don't know about you, but I'm done with the girl boss era. I'm done with the hustle and grind era. I'm all about the soft life now. We can do it. We can slow down. We can rest. We can live the soft life and still get our shit done. Create something of our own that supports us and our loved ones and our energy and our desires and our medicine. Let's pause. Let's breathe. Let's listen. Let's take our power back. And let's teach our daughters and our nieces to do that too. Let's set an example for them. And to trust that nothing good will pass you by when you take care of yourself first. You are allowed to rest and you are allowed to not always be on. In fact, your next big breakthrough will come in the quiet. Thank you for being here, amigas. Hasta la próxima.